KFLS 59 at Radio Free America. This is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I've got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the walls. The chair is against the walls. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome everybody to another edition of our Daily Gun Show. We come to you live every day at 7 p.m. Eastern, that's 4 Pacific, for about an hour or 90 minutes each day. We do 3 gun-related topics, different topics throughout the week. We run it live on YouTube, and we're simulcasting it over on gunchannels.com. Once it's all over, we'll take the audio and turn that into a podcast on iTunes. We appreciate everybody that's watching us live or listening in the future. We're watching the comments on both Gun Channels and YouTube. If you want to participate from listening to the show in the future as a podcast or watching it on video, we encourage you to leave some comments, to subscribe to our channels out there. It lets us know where you are, and it helps the show get recommended to more listeners. So we appreciate that. We've got 5 hosts. 4 of us are here today. We've got Smeggy jumping in from Michigan. Thanks for joining.
Hey, how's everyone doing?
Good. We got Dano in Illinois. Thanks for joining.
Just Dano in the house.
And then we got
that was weird.
Bob, normally in Canada, is down in Waco, Texas. So thanks for jumping in.
Hi, glad to be here.
And good internet today. And then I'm down here in Arizona. We'll have Z jumping in from the island of Maui when he gets off work and can join in. So let's see. Today is episode 283. We'll be talking about states and CCW. On our entertainment segment, we'll be talking about a top 10 gun wish list, I guess. And then today is Wednesday, so we have a tactical quiz. Of course, at any point, we could have our tactical pop quiz, and then we have all of our stuff that we like to hit on a daily basis. Before we dig into the show, though, we always take a break at the beginning like this to see if anything happened overnight, anything worth talking about. Hit or miss was last night. It's making him nice straight co-host.
Yeah, it was
73 today for Tokarev Tuesday.
Oh yeah, I kind of missed everything. I was having shitty internet last night, so.
Okay, we all talking on top of each other. So Bob had poor internet. Dano said something about Tokarov Tuesday, and Smeggy said yes, I think.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I wasn't part of hit or miss yesterday, so I have no idea how it went.
Smeggy, are you feeling well today?
Yeah, I'm feeling just peachy.
You sound like you need a Red Bull or something.
Okay, I'll go get one.
It's like I'm running on half speed right now.
Also, I had Big Gunner on last night. And that was a couple of shows on Gun Channels. And what were we saying about Tokarov Tuesday, Dano?
I was just saying, went to fill out the 4473 today to clear the runway for when that Tokarev comes in for the landing.
That is completely it's alien to me. So you're going in without the gun even on the premises and filling out a 4473?
Yep.
Yeah, that's completely different procedure than I've ever encountered before. It's interesting.
So that my 3-day clock starts at that moment.
I guess that's in a world where you have an Illinois mandates a 3-day waiting period when you buy a handgun.
Yep.
So
and 24 hours for a shotgun or long gun.
There's a waiting period for a long gun also?
Yes.
Wow. So then I didn't realize that. And then, but again, I didn't realize that you can start that process without the gun even being in the possession of the gun shop yet.
Yes.
So that's at least a little bit convenient, although convenience equals death. We all know that.
Yeah, I mean, it still requires two trips. I mean, so it doesn't get out of the way that way. It's just for making online purchases, as far as it's going to take a couple days or whatever to get shipped. It's a way of, instead of it being, 6 days, you can maybe get it in four days.
Yeah, that's okay, I guess. Now that Tokarev you've got, does it have one of those added-on safeties?
Yes.
Yuck.
Well, it is what it is and has to comply with 922R, which has been a
Yeah.
subject of many a chat.
Yeah,
Nope. 922R does not apply to handguns.
no, but
Okay.
it's something to do. Yeah, I don't know why they did that. I mean, it really does ruin the look of the gun. Not that it was that pretty a gun anyway. Sorry.
In case anyone's curious, because there are numerous variations. A Tokarev is not a Tokarev is not a Tokarev.
No, it's just I'm used to ones that come from Russia and look like real ones.
Well, they not only come from many different countries, they are also many variations of of guns that shoot that particular round from the other side of the Iron Curtain. And in fact, what's ironic is this particular version that shoots the Tokarev uses the John Browning design for many of its internal components. So I find that to be interesting perspective on its own.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I think I know what the problem might be. Smeggy might be low on Mountain Dew over there. There might be a Mountain Dew shortage in the area. He's rationing himself.
Oh, a Mountain Dew shortage? That'll kill him.
Well, I'm sure he stockpiles for that kind of emergency.
Oh, I'll bet, yeah.
I'm fine.
Yep, it's I've had plenty of Mountain Dew, so that's not a problem.
There's nothing wrong.
Quit making fun of me, Dano.
What makes you think I'm
Would you
talking
rather I
about
talk
you?
like this and be like you little chipmunk?
All right.
Oh,
Come on.
Now I guess it's time to dig into the show. So we're going to talk about states and CCW first off. Our CCW topic. If I remember where that one came from, what that refers to, or where are we taking this one?
I'm not sure. I saw the title of the topic and I scratched my head and I figured I'll wait to ask where we're going with this because I'm not sure where it goes.
well, before we say anything, I just want to say one thing. I think it sucks that Texas doesn't have open carry. Just constitutional carry. I think Texas, of all the states, should have constitutional carry, especially if it's a cowboy gun. You'd just be allowed to carry a cowboy gun no matter what.
That's because Texas isn't as pro-gun as everyone thinks they are. I mean, they're pretty high up on the list, but
Yeah.
they're not. Everyone thinks like, oh my God, Texas is the best gun capital of the world, and it's not.
When I first got my CCW in like 5 or 4, then I always thought it was interesting back then in Texas, if you wanted to get a concealed permit, you'd have to get a handgun or a pistol, and then that's what you could carry. They divided it between the two, and there was no open carry back then. If you if your shirt lifted up, that could be considered brandishing.
So if you had a long gun, you were expected to conceal it?
What? No, nothing I said there said that. I don't think. I'm just saying it was interesting that they had a pistol and a revolver as separate CHLs, and I think from what I understand, from what I was told, you had a revolver when you carried a revolver.
If it's concealed carry holder, implies concealed carry, and you said long gun.
No. He was saying that you had to have a separate concealed carry for a pistol or for a revolver. Like there was you had two classes, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's what you meant, wasn't it?
Yeah. All right. If we're talking about just general states and CCW, I want to look at the timeline, right? When we look at it, we all had CCW, and then it was all taken away in like the 60s or something, and then it all started coming back. Now we have every single state has some sort of CCW, and now it's just a matter of tweaking them all to be better.
And that's where, at least in my 2-cent opinion, the difference where May issue in many states works out wonderful, and in many states is a complete disaster. And that's why, unless somebody has a shall issue, you have no
Is that me?
Nope, Dano cut out or something.
Oh, okay, Dano did. Well, that was me because of the thunderstorms. I didn't hear anyone else. But, I did an interesting thing. I kind of compiled a list of all the states and when they got concealed carry, and then I noted like when they had got concealed carry shall issue or constitutional carry. It needs to be updated.
In a PDF or a Word document?
No, in neither of those formats.
Interesting.
I'll let you guess which format my favorite. But from what I can tell, the oldest one, New Hampshire, got concealed carry in 1923. So they had some type of permit since all the way back then. Then all the other ones are, 60s, 70s, kind of through the 80s, 90s. And 1995 was a big year. A bunch of states got them. 96, and then 2001 is when some of the shall issue stuff started coming in. And this isn't complete by any means, I can tell. But just a couple states each year seems like it's been getting something advancement.
We've all seen that GIF, right, where they take the map of the United States, just kind of a state map, and then color the states based on their CCW, what status, and then they kind of flips through like a slideshow each decade or something, and it shows the changes. So when you're looking at that data you've accumulated there, what would be a good, is a GIF like that the best way to do it, or is there, does something else come to mind as a way to like express that set of data in an interesting way?
Actually, I think that GIF is one of the best. In fact, that's where mine came from. I screenshotted each thing. I paused it each time and then typed in all the different states. That's why I only pretty much have the year, because it just goes year after year after year. So I look at one, then look at the next one. Oh, this one turned blue. Okay, they got carry. Oh, this one turned yellow. They got shall issue, like whatever the colors were. So that's how I compiled my data. But yeah, I think I do think that's the best way to represent it, because then you can kind of see like it kind of grows, and it goes from red to yellow to blue to green or whatever, whatever the colors are. I think that's about it though. Red's probably no carry, yellow is may issue, green is shall issue, and blue is constitutional or something like that. But
blue being the best color gets constitutional carry.
I think so. But I think that's a good way of showing it. Like I said, that's where I pulled my stuff, just because I was just curious on it. So I wanted to have it in list form with one of the other projects I was doing with gun laws that is also not completed. But that was a side note to that. So
maybe we can work on that for next Every Second Matters or something, because I've been curious about doing something like that. I have a spreadsheet someplace where when I was building Every Second Matters a long time ago, like the first time we built it, I compiled a list of the states, and then like if they had all the different aspects, Castle Doctrine, and then what they call it, where the state has authority over the cities.
Oh crap, the word just in my brain, that's why I interrupted, and then I forgot. Sorry.
Yeah, we're thinking about it, we're not thinking of it. But I've put in everything like that. If there's what their CHO was called, what their CCW was called, how many years it was, what it cost. And it was pretty interesting to start accumulating all that. And as soon as, when it's in just a spreadsheet format, it's kind of dry, and really it's useful because you can then build stuff with that. But by itself, it's kind of difficult to relay information or convey anything meaningful out of it. So I've been thinking about how to get that animated or somehow, pull the information that we want out of it. And maybe we can come up with something like that for like more current, because I did this years ago, really, when we built Every Second Matters. I think it was 2013. So it's going to be dated info at this point, but it might be something we can build from. And then I'd like to do something like that that takes that GIF to the next level. That GIF was made I mean, whenever, if you're using that one we're all thinking about, that's got to be 5 or 6 years old, at least.
Yeah, I mean, I think the newest thing I have in there was 2015 when Texas got open carry, but I'm pretty sure I just added that myself because it was in the news at the time.
Right on. So if you got any time, I know you travel and stuff, but if we got some time throughout the rest of the month here, we got a month to do it. Let's make that a goal for next month. Every Second Matters coming up with rep and whatever, a new version of that GIF, except in better format.
All right. Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Preemption.
It's a plan, man.
Thanks, Tony. It's preemption. That's what I was thinking of. All right. Well, back to the topic, states and CCW. Is there anything else we want to talk about? It's like we got Z early. Jumping in.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if we want to talk specifically or just kind of the differences. One thing that I found was kind of odd, and I don't know how many states do this, but you had kind of mentioned in Texas they have 2 different permits. Well, in some places, when you get a carry permit, it's for like a specific gun. Like you give them the serial number or whatever, and that's what you're allowed to carry.
Just a FYI, that was had. I'm pretty sure it's not like that anymore in Texas. But you're right, like that in Nevada. My Nevada permit, I got it in Pahrump, Nevada, so I didn't get it in Clark County where Vegas is. So when you get a Vegas permit, you have to go qualify with each gun. So you got to bring your guns to the CCW course. At the time, I think it was 8 hours plus, and a certain amount of that time was required on the range with that gun. And then as part of the process, they put your serial number and everything, like that gun, on your permit, like you're saying. And then when you get it issued to you, it's got a list of guns on it. So I brought, I don't know, 5 guns or something that I thought I might carry. And they were like listed on there. And if you lived in Clark County, or if you got your CCW as a non-resident in Clark County, which might be more convenient because it's in Vegas, they require, the city or something of Vegas requires, or maybe the county requires a separate card for each gun you carry. So now you got to carry around your permit and this like additional card for each gun that you might be carrying. And it's weird and annoying, and I would imagine just, you know, a pain in the butt when you go to renew them and stuff.
Something I just want to mention that I was trying to make a point before then Google pulled the plug on me again, is that whenever a state has a may issue plan for concealed carry, it is ripe for abuse. Even if it's working out well in your state, it is still ripe for abuse. And that's why if you don't have a may issue, you should be trying to push for a shall issue. Did I get that right? No. If you don't have a shall issue, you should be pushing for it. Because all the states that have problems have may issues.
The other problem with may issue is, what if you want a permit and you want it on one of those other months?
That's true. Good point. Didn't think about that.
Is that the follow-up April? Is may issue?
If it wasn't Makarov, then yeah, it would be a good one.
Yeah, if it's not Tokarev Tuesday, it's may issue, and I want credit for both.
Well, now Dano's taking over. He's TM and
May issue Mondays.
Ian.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, I want Smeggy Saturdays. So there. Ha. I own a whole day. But anyways, yeah, I don't know how far we can get on this. Different states are very different on their CCW. Some are good, some are bad.
And then they're saying
to be good.
But it does seem that most of the abuse does tend to take place in may issue states. I mean, almost universally.
Well, yeah, because that's a step towards what we want, or step towards freedom. So it's not freedom yet. Clay is saying it's not like that in Nevada anymore. So it might not be like that in Nevada. I haven't had a Nevada CCW since they took my Utah or Arizona in reciprocity, so I haven't bothered. And I think the Nevada only gave me Minnesota or something back in the day, and I don't really travel Minnesota very often, so I let that one go. Plus, you have to go to Nevada to renew it, so I would have had to gone back to Nevada to the sheriff department, get a new picture, and renew it, and then whenever it got printed or whatever, which is not right then, like they take some amount of time. I don't know if it was days or weeks. Probably depends on how many they got. Then you have to go back and pick it up in person, and that's, unless you're going to Nevada a lot, then that's not worth it. And where I got mine out in Pahrump is like an hour past Vegas for us, so that would have been driving to Vegas and then another hour back and forth, 2 hours to go get that thing. And like I said, I didn't need it for Vegas anymore, so I let it lapse. But I think it was also a price thing. That's something else that is interesting when you look at all of them. Some of the states are almost competitive with each other, at least trying to only cover costs. Like Arizona's will go down. It's gone down over the years because they've said they were efficient enough in their department that they didn't need any more money. So they've reduced the price of the permit, where others are almost trying to keep it out of the reach of people, it seems, by keeping the cost so high. Might be interesting after we talk to Marco too, to talk about some of the associated costs, like if they require a class, and then what the average cost of the class might be.
Yeah, Michigan requires a class, and it's normally like 150 is about normal. There might be more that are a little more. Maybe you can find some that are a little less, but that's what ours are. But I am pretty lucky with that, though. We have reciprocity with 40 states, so you pretty much can't get any better than that, because the only states I don't have it with are ones that don't honor any out-of-state permits anyways. So that's pretty good. We also honor every in-state permit. We don't honor non-resident permit, but if you have a resident permit from your state, you can carry in Michigan, no problem. That's kind of nice of them.
And somewhat ironic is Illinois does not recognize Michigan carry permits, but does carry Hawaii permits, which apparently nobody has. So it's not a problem.
Yeah, that's kind of a.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised Illinois honors any of them, because that's like, those are the 10, right? California, Illinois, New York, New Jersey, all that kind of stuff, Maryland, blah, 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 whatever. And from what I saw, they didn't honor any of them. So at least they honor some. That's kind of nice. Maybe they only honor those 10 because they're all in it together.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, even if they're not colluding, intent, actually meeting in a room and figuring it out. It probably is to everybody's advantage. They acknowledge the ones that are the highest, most difficult ones to obtain, with the most barriers to grabbing one, and then that way they can say that they have reciprocity and they can act like they're participating, but they're really just promoting the other permits that are unobtainable.
Right. Well, because that's the biggest thing with the states when they don't want to honor another state, is they're like, well, we don't think they have, strict enough training, or they, don't have a good enough background check, or whatever. Like, that's what they say, is that, well, we can't trust, Wyoming because they give it to anybody, or, whatever.
No offense to Wyoming.
Well, exactly. I mean, that's...
Yeah, and that's literally what the politicians down in Springfield, Illinois said in regard to reciprocity with the surrounding states, that their training was not up to snuff to Illinois standards. Hooty tooty.
Well, what the heck, man? We have 8 hours of training plus live fire. I mean, how much more training do you want?
Because you don't have 20 hours, which we do.
Oh.
I mean, it's bullshit. I know it.
FIB, Smeggy.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
And then, of course, the other thing is we don't have non-resident permits. Do you think that's by accident? Absolutely not. So we have virtually no reciprocity and no non-resident permits.
Well, in other words,
I mean, that's just
even if I get a permit,
continuing the old philosophy of we're an anti-gun state, even if we're forced by the courts to do otherwise.
so even if I get a permit, because I would be a non-resident wherever I get the permit, I wouldn't be allowed to carry there, even though I had a concealed carry permit.
Correct.
Yes.
Sucks.
I just thought it's because you're an alien.
And he is.
That would
That
be
is an interesting question.
Extraterrestrials.
Can non-U.S. residents get carry permits?
I have heard you can in Utah. This was on the internet, so it got to be true.
That's something I've never really looked into. I mean, like I said, I know a lot of states have non-state resident permits, and some do not. But yeah, I've never thought of like non-U.S. residents. That'd be cool. They'll get you Utah, and then you'll be covered in a lot of places, from what I can tell.
Yeah, that's
all of them, but a lot.
Yeah, well, that's what the whole thing on the internet was saying. Is it's like one of the few places that will issue to a non-American resident.
So I was just wondering, Bob, is the internet also going to be the one paying your bail and lawyers' fees?
No, I belong to the NRA. I mean, hey.
You think that they're going to bail you out of jail and pay for your lawyers?
I'd like to,
in case the internet was wrong.
I'd like to focus the court's attention on this webpage where this guy, Scooter,
Clearly says.
Yeah, it says AFIW or whatever, AFI.
As if I.
As far as I know.
Dot.
Yeah, but that's good to know. Anyway, so we were talking about states and CCW. I think we've solved it. Welcome. And,
what? Okay.
That. Oh, did you want to keep on?
Well, you say you solved it. Does that just mean there's only 49 states?
Yeah, Hawaii doesn't really count.
57, but whatever.
Yep. Fine. Okay. Yeah, right. 57, but who's counting? All right. No, I'm cool.
Yeah, like I say, you're welcome. So we'll move on to the next segment of the show, which will be top 10 gun wish list. We always take a break between the first and second segment of the show each day to mention feature one of the members over at Gun Channels. Gun Channels is a place we built a while back. It's a community. It's focused on firearms. There's lots of things to do there. And this week we're featuring some of the members that have something in common. Let's see. Monday it was Dead Horse. Yesterday it was Matt or Mike. I forget. Someone eminent looking. Scrolling. It was Mark. So I knew I had eminent. Mark 32-8-12. And today we're going to be featuring Priest. So member, I believe, out of Phoenix or Arizona, active for a long time, had a kid, less active now for some reason. His kids take a priority over chatting on the internet about guns. But one of the people we built Gun Channels for, somebody that was looking for something to do, liked to participate in conversations and various live chats. He would join occasionally the live chats, but often in the text chats and then just on other areas of the site. So again, if you're interested in creating content, if you're interested in looking at actual created content as opposed to sponsored content, then Gun Channels might be a place you might want to check out. So we feature the members like this each day, and like I say, this week there's something in common with them. So if anybody has a guess at this point between Mark and Dead Horse and Priest, what they might have in common, then feel free to guess in the comments. Maybe we'll do something about it, but probably not gonna figure it out.
Okay. Before we continue, if you could do me a favor and just click on my thumbnail for a moment? I would appreciate that.
Okay.
All right. I made a mistake, and I want to be honest about it. Apparently, a word we all like to use for another reason, Illinois does not honor Hawaii permits. So if you look at that map, Illinois, there's there in green, and in red is all the states that we do not honor permits, whether they be resident or non-resident.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Just kind of a clarification as to where Illinois politicians tend to stick their noses.
Good of you to come clean with that, Dano.
But we can continue. Thank you.
Now, if only you'd do that for the quizzes.
Hey. Be nice.
All right, well, so then the next segment of the show is What? Entertainment. Top 10 gun wish list. Where'd this come from?
Left field.
Left field.
Apparently, Monday and Wednesday we don't get enough lists, so we needed to add another list.
But we added the top 10 gun wish list to the entertainment section. I don't understand how that's entertainment, I guess.
Well, I mean, it's a fantasy list, and in some ways, it's like your fantasy gun list. So in that way, it is entertainment.
Well, it's fantasy, but it's also practical. I mean, it's stuff that you would really like to have. I mean, everybody could, oh, I want a GAU 30. Well, yeah, that'd be cool, but what the hell are you going to do with it?
I'm going to mount it to the front of my freaking BMW, dude. What are you talking about? Actually, I take that back. I'd probably mount it on something with a little more girth.
Yeah, I was just thinking I could mount it on my truck, but it'd probably even squish my 3/4 ton.
So the gun wish list, Bob is putting a amendment that where it has to be practical. It can't just be a fun gun to have.
Yeah.
Oh, I disagree with that. I am not playing by that rule.
Yeah, I disagree entirely.
He's such a crazy.
Apparently, entirely.
So
Well,
what
I think we can all do our list however we feel like then.
There you go. See, that's what I like.
Yep.
So are we making lists and sharing them? Are we compiling a list from the participation of the audience? Are we looking at lists that exist and commenting on them? Or are we taking it?
Well, can
So far,
I have a list prepared.
I was going to say, I have 8 on my list. I'm sure I could come up with 2 more in the amount of time.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure if Bob made one, but if 3 of you guys got lists, let's
Well, it's not like Bob actually expected to be here.
Or we expected Bob to be here.
So who wants to go first?
Actually.
List, or do we want to do it Matt style? We'll do it Matt
yeah.
style.
Correct?
Because mine are not in order at all.
Yeah, mine are not in order either.
All right. Well, then I guess just somebody read off their list, and we'll all listen to your list and judge it.
All right. I'll go ahead and start. Or Z, you want to go?
You go, Dano. You're ready.
All right. Number 1, My Deuce. M2. So you want me to go down the whole list?
Might as well.
Okay. And these are in no particular order. Next is an M60, also known as the Pig. Next, which is more personally brings back memories for me, and that's an M16, followed by Glock G18. Again, no particular order. Next, and I have to put this word in there so it's clear, full auto AK. I mean, I don't want a neutered one like we have now. I want what it was designed to be. Next is bolt action Barrett 50.
Nice.
Next one I have, a little historical, but I like it a lot, and that's a Gatling gun.
Any particular reason you want the bolt action over a semi?
I like the controllability of the entire process because it is you're going for hyper accuracy. And so anything that can help give you, I would, it's not a cost issue. Keep it as simple mechanically as possible, less to go wrong.
I understand.
But then I mentioned a Gatling gun. Then after that is, I use the word authentic, but 1800s vintage Winchester lever action gun. After that, another one that's very historic for me is a Lamat revolver. And the last one on my list, don't anybody laugh, is a Paris gun or similar type of rail gun. Yes, it's a gun.
Right on.
Well, technically every gun on a boat is a gun as well.
That is true. And that is my top 10 fantasy guns.
That's a good list. So, Bob, I don't know. We're going through the list here. I don't know if you made one or not, but your internet was good before, so I'm assuming it was just a glitch there.
Yeah, I think so. It's yeah, I just had a few weird shit going on. Yeah, I do actually. I have made a list.
All right, well, speak a little louder. You're getting a little bit quiet. I don't know if the mic distance or what, but go ahead. What's your list?
Okay. Well, number one on my list to be, and I mean this is something that you guys can all have, but AK-47.
Are you stipulating like Dano a real one, or are you just happy with anything?
I would be happy with a neutered one.
Spoken like a Canadian. Go ahead.
Wow. And there he goes.
We didn't do that intentionally. That's just, you know.
But it worked out well.
So we got your AK-47. What's next, Bob?
Am I back?
Yeah.
Yep. Not for long.
All right. Well, maybe you are having trouble with Bob's. You are back though, Bob. You're listening. All right. Well, we'll move on to I guess Smeggy, since he's been
No, I'm
quiet.
back.
He's got
I'm back.
Okay.
I'm back.
All right. Go ahead.
Hurry up.
All right, so AK-47. I'm going to do this quick, but these are in no particular order, just like Dano's. Smith & Wesson Model 29 in 44 Magnum, of course. 10 millimeter Delta Elite. A high power, but an English model with the stock, the ones they sent over to China. Barrett 50, but I want the semi-auto. A Thompson, of course, early model too, the pre-1920 or whatever it was, with the 100-round drum and the front grip. I want a Sten gun. I want a Makarov and a Detective Special 38 Colt and a 38 Chief Special, and that's my 10. And hopefully everybody heard that.
Yep.
Yep. We heard you.
Okay, cool. I don't know why I keep dropping out. My connection looks good, but
I would like to respond to something that Sean Ponnery said. Oh, come on, Bob. Half that list is affordable and achievable. Now, Sean, you forget he lives in Canada. So some of the stuff that would be easy for us to pick up are going to be considerably more difficult for Bob to pick up.
But he did say
yeah,
he
maybe.
would accept a neutered AK. So I'm like, what?
yeah, but we can't get AKs. That's why I have a VZ58, because that costs a lot more than an AK would have. And I'm cheap. I'm like Dano. I damn near squeak when I walk. I'm so tight.
Well,
All right, Smags.
All right. Well, my list is a little off from what you guys, because I'm not going necessarily just all-time wish list. Mine is almost all completely achievable and just stuff that I want to buy at some point. And I'll go through the list based on the likelihood of me buying it. So this is basically will most likely be the next 10 gun purchases I have, maybe. And so number one, since it's not in my possession yet, is a PMR 30. I thought that was a cool gun. I really want one. So that's on my wish list. It was added to the list a week ago, and it's already being fulfilled. After that, it's an M&P Shield, then some type of 22 pistol. I haven't really decided what. And then some type of lever action. I'm leaning towards a Henry, but I don't know that for sure. I'm not exactly sure what caliber. I probably want something that's a straight walled cartridge so that I can use it for hunting in the lower part of Michigan if I ever get the opportunity. So I don't know what caliber that would be either, but whatever. And then a CZ bolt gun. I don't know the model numbers or whatever, but I hear they make good bolt guns, so I want one of those. PPQ, a 22 rifle, some type, like I said, I don't know what type, an AR-180, and now the one that is completely fantasy, so at least I'm staying with the list a little bit, but this has always been on my wish list, is a true 100% Russian AK-47. No 922R, no stupid semi-auto, a true, from the motherland, completely accurate Russian AK-47. And once we change some laws, that will be easier to obtain. But until then, that's my fantasy gun.
Nice.
Why
Nice
don't
list.
take a break and go to what we're seeing on the comments. So on the gun channel side, we got Sean saying his number one on his wish list is the Barrett XM 109. Number one on Ashley's is the M1 Abrams. Let's see what I got. The other number ones. Number one from Tony in Illinois. It's the Model 29 from Smith & Wesson. It's been his number one for a long time. I'm not seeing too many other number ones on the gun channel side. On the YouTube side, nothing. Nobody even wants guns on them. Too bad. We had Santa Guns going to drop a bunch of guns off to people, but nobody even gave them a wish list. All the people on gun channels, your wish lists are all going to be fulfilled by Santa.
Well, Sean did say he wanted a big railroad cannon, so that's technically.
All he said is the big railroad cannons. I guess he wants one of those. Okay, well then
Maybe he wants 10 of those. He's got a lot of trains, perhaps.
I don't even know what a railroad cannon is. Is that like a cannon?
They're monsters.
It's a rail.
On a railroad?
It's a rail gun.
railroad
We
cars.
call it a rail gun because it's a gun that goes on a set of railroads.
That's
Yeah,
not a rail gun.
That's
Huge
not a
artillery.
railgun.
Huge artillery piece. Yeah, they are. They would put them on railroad tracks because they could move them around and scoot them around easier.
And they'll shoot 40 miles.
They're definitely called rail guns before the electronic rail guns even were a thing.
Yeah, the one they built for the First World War would actually was the first man-made object to enter the outer space. It would actually go outside the atmosphere before it came back down.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
they
if
were
you
World War
want to know more about, just Google either Paris gun or Big Bertha gun.
They shot nuclear ordnance, or they could, right?
Yeah, well, the later versions, that came after World War II.
To be invented, yeah, but they're definitely.
They would, yeah.
All right, there's Z onto your list. You did it in no order, also.
Yes, correct. No order. Sure. Started with a SVD, Dragunov, M60, PKM, MAC-10, silenced with a laser sight on top. The 40 millimeter belt fed, I don't know what it's called, but it's like the grenade machine gun. Do you know what I'm talking about?
240. What are those things called? The I don't know what they are either, but the belt fed.
What's it, like 249 or something like that?
No, that's a saw, isn't it? But there's something like
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
the belt fed 40 millimeter.
Yes,
That's
oh, thank you. Sean Ponnery said it's the Mark 19. Thank you. Because yes,
Right.
that would be mandatory. A Modus, a BAR, a Python, a Korth revolver, and then man, I guess I too would like a real AK-47. Oh, and that MAC-10 had to be in 45. Did I mention that? I mean, I think that's what a MAC-10 comes in anyway.
All right. Well, I'm not going to say all your lists suck, but all your lists are obtainable, so they suck. So my list is in order because I care about lists.
My list is obtainable. You gonna get a Paris gun?
You can go buy one of them. So let's listen to a real list of wish list of guns. So first off, underwater AK, because y'all got AKs, so I can shoot yours. Then I want our super short coach gun, because that means the NFA is gone, because I'm not registering one. Then I want a Mac 11, the 380 version, which is better. And since Z already has the 45, I'll just shoot his, of course, with the can. Then I want a Medusa revolver, then the M2, then a PKM. Then I want a 1 of 1,000 Winchester 73. Then I want the first baby Browning ever made. Number 2, I want the first 1911 ever made. And number 1, of course, the first Smith & Wesson 22 short. First cartridge gun ever made. So that's a real wish list, I think.
Now, I can't help but notice that a number of those guns did appear on other people's lists as well.
Oh, you guys had the first 1911 in your list? You had the first baby Browning in your list?
I had the
don't-
PKM.
1911. Haters?
PKM right on my list, towards the top.
Yeah. You mentioned the Modus. That was on my list.
Yeah, that's in the middle of mine. I mean, it's a practical gun. You got to have one that in the roof.
Well, see, now that I look at it, I did have 3 light machine guns. I had or is the Modus a heavy machine gun? Anyway, I had the Modus, the PKM, and an M60. So I think that's a pretty good. That's some good coverage. And then with that 40 millimeter belt fed, I think we could light it up a little bit.
I don't want to wish that y'all didn't pick unobtainable guns, really.
Well, I admitted that to the beginning because I just opened up the list I already had that helps keep my priorities in mind when I'm at gun shows or stuff pops up. So,
hey, Smeggy, you should.
I didn't do the homework exactly, but I already had my report laying around from last year, so I just turned that in.
Smeggy, you should have been at the Tulsa show. If you had a big enough wallet, you could have got them all.
Yeah, I'm sure I could have. But that's okay. I don't have that big enough wallet, so then I would have just been like, oh.
Disappointed, yeah.
Well, hopefully that was
the Python was on my list, but really I would rather have one of them Korth revolvers than a Python, to be honest with you. And the Korth was on my list as well, so I'd probably drop that. I would drop the Python for potentially something different.
If you seriously not take a Python over one of these Korth things.
Oh, I'd definitely take a Korth.
The English made high power with the stock that was built for the Chinese. That means that the restrictions have gone away, and I believe they were full auto, or at least some of them were.
Now, I thought, Z, that you had mentioned the Lamat in the past. Maybe you did, and you just didn't. It's not that big of a deal.
Not me.
Okay, maybe.
I know what it is.
Have you fiddled with one ever, Dano?
What?
Have you ever fiddled with one? They have those reproductions they make now, so you might have seen one in a gun shop or something.
No, not just behind glass.
They're actually terrible to hold.
Yeah, they're huge, obnoxious. I think there's a reason they don't exist. It sounds good on paper, but they're huge, obnoxious guns.
Yeah, they were. That was what you would consider a horse pistol. It was great if you were mounted cavalry because it gave you lots of rounds plus that shotgun round, which I think originally was a 16 gauge. But yeah, it's ridiculous.
I guess in my mind, it kind of represented the south part of the Civil War, where the Gatling gun represented the north.
We do have a couple more.
Number one.
Yeah, I was gonna say car carrier. Number one for him would be a Wilson Combat 1911, which is excellent choice. Ashy Slashy on Gun Channel says Benedict's 44 Magnum from The Last Action Hero, which is pretty cool if I remember correctly. Pawnery digging deep into the Wayback Machine, kind of like G-Web started to do. He wants Elmer Keith's 44 Special Revolver, which is before the 44 Magnum got made, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Didn't he blow a couple of those up, though?
I wouldn't doubt it.
I think Sean
wildcatting those rounds.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just throwing that out there. I think Sean is Elmer Keith's son.
Grandson, maybe.
He's definitely the president of the Big Bore Club, with Tony as the vice president.
But I did think of one that's kind of obtainable, but I don't know, kind of probably expensive or whatever. But I want a German Luger. I think those things look cool.
I've always liked the toggle action Lugers. I do have an affinity towards those.
Yeah, my dad has a pellet gun that's like a replica, and you put the little CO2 cartridge in the grip, and screw the thing in, and it cracks it. But all the seals are worn out, so it doesn't hold any pressure, so it doesn't actually work.
So, Smeggy, if you had the opportunity for 2 authentic, made during the war, but they were both 9mm as well as the 7 or 5, the other cartridge that it came in, same condition, which one would you want?
I would want the one that I can shoot easier.
Well, you can get the 30 caliber Mauser rounds now.
Which
I
I mean,
know
which
they'd be a lot
which one
cheaper.
was the original? Was it started in 9 mil and then they made the?
It started in 30,
Oh, well, then I'd want
think.
that one.
I think. Now, though,
Yeah, the 9 mil was
this with a
was
shoulder,
later.
this with a shoulder stock though would just be the most badass little sub gun in the world.
Nope.
That's all I'm saying.
No.
I disagree.
Yeah. It's a Browning. What could be better?
Mac 10, Mac 11.
No.
Yeah, thank you.
No, it wasn't even close. It's not made by Browning. It's not designed by Browning. It can't be as good.
That was finished by the Belgians, Bob. So they had to
Actually,
interpret some of the Browning design. So
Well,
to me, it's just like they stole it and then pretty much killed him in his sleep and then put his name on it so they could sell it.
No.
That's my opinion.
No. He had a very good relationship with the Belgians. That's why so many of his little guns and his guns were made by them. He had a much better relationship with them than he did with Winchester or anyone else. So there.
Well, I think we took lists for a while. I think that was pretty interesting. Hopefully it was entertaining for people thinking about what Santa guns might bring you.
Yeah.
With that, we'll move on to the next segment of the show.
Did somebody say next segment?
Well, thank God I'm not in Oklahoma anymore. I'd be terrified otherwise.
Bob is triggered.
Bob is triggered. That's right. It's time for the tactical. Wait, what was that? There we
That
go.
was a smeggy clap.
Tactical pop quiz of the day. So those of you over on YouTube, get your cursor down in the text box. Those of you over on Gun Channels, do the same. Limber up your fingers. Who would like to be the assistant today? Since we have everybody here.
What do you mean?
Who wants to be the help me judge?
Well, I'll tell you what. If they put the right answer out there, I'll be more than happy to mention it.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll all yell.
Yeah.
It's you
Sounds
keep
good.
wanting to
Recovered.
put a dress on Dano. You keep asking them to put on Vanna's dress, and I think that really freaks people out.
That was yesterday, not today.
Oh, I'm glad I wasn't here yesterday.
All right.
Me too.
The question is as follows, and I will read the question 2 times. And I want to thank Mr. Pawnery for sending in this question on dailygunshow@gmail.com in case you want to send us anything. Question is, what is the name of the heaviest weight 500 Magnum bullet, better known as insert name? What is the name of the heaviest weight 500 Magnum bullet, better known as what? It has a name.
Well, I just want to point out that Rex K says Smeggy can say hotshot today. So thank you for giving me permission. But you're not Z, so you don't get to say that.
Yeah, that's between Z and Smeggy to figure out what they want to do.
What's the question?
Wind 42 breaker is incorrect.
I must add Night Strike jumped to put the dress on, so that tells you a little bit about him.
Mass
times mass times velocity squared is force, but that is not the answer.
What is the question again?
Okay, I'll read it for the 3rd time. For those that were not
The
paying
answer
attention.
is 42.
What is the name of the heaviest weight 500 Magnum bullet, better known as? It has a name.
This may be a difficult one for people.
Yes. How many people shoot 500 Magnum?
So if there's a lot
Martin Van Buren is incorrect. Grizzly load is incorrect.
But kind of on the right track. Ish.
Martin Van Buren?
No, the
If you-
Grizzly thing. Thinking about
Tony, can you give us a more Tony? Can you give us a more accurate answer, Tony?
So what did Tony say that was close?
Well, I'm not going to say it because then it'll give it away to everybody else.
But
Connery's Wet Dream, I believe, could be another name for it, but that's not the name that Dano is looking for. Kodiak Load is incorrect. Dang it.
BFG.
Wait, did I get to shoot one of those in Phoenix?
I don't know. So if you feel like the tactical quiz questions are getting overly big bore centric, then you can participate by sending Dano some questions along with the answers and reference if necessary to our email address, which is dailygunshow@gmail.com. And then you can have a hand in what kind of questions they're answering or asked.
And if you make them 9mm centric, you'll drive G-Webs crazy. Where's the bonus?
And I will try to make sure those questions go right to the top of the list.
All right, I'm gonna give the audience a clue. It is the blank. The answer we are looking for is the blank.
Since we've mentioned the person as well as people can scroll up to see part of what he typed, I'm going to give another tip. T-Rex something.
I feel like we already had the answer, at least close enough, but
well, it's either there or it's not. And this is not a giveaway. This is not a participation award.
no, you're right. This one is definitely something that would be difficult to Google. So we're not seeing a lot of answers coming in, period. I'm guessing we might have stumped the audience here.
All right. Well, at this point, if the judges agree, I'd like to press pause on today's question. I will refile that question for a future date.
Not always the winner. There's not always.
Oh, bang, bang, and Ashy Slashy for the win.
Ashy
Just
Slashy
when everybody was going to give up.
Okay.
It's too tough.
T-Rex Thumper. So, Ashy Slashy, congratulations. You are today's Tactical Pop Quiz winner. Head on over to thedailygunshow.com/pop quiz. Fill out the form. Make sure you put your first and second choices of the patches out there. And congratulations. You are today's Tactical Pop Quiz winner.
And Smeggy, I say we give the audience what they wanted, so it's all you, buddy.
Oh, cool. Just so Dano will be happy, make sure you fill out your whole address, unlike that other person who did not. Anyways, okay, well, is it Ashy Slashy? Is that his name?
That is correct.
All right, well, Ashy Slashy, that makes you today's Tactical Hot Shot of the day.
Excellent job.
And you know,
Good job.
Smeggy, when you first came into the show today, you were running so low on energy, I didn't know if you had it in you, but clearly you muscled up to it.
He was storing it up for that.
Yep.
All right. So
There's a method to my madness. Don't call me out on my tiredness sometimes.
we do like to thank the people that are watching the show live. Most of the time we do these tactical pop quizzes, and the tactical quizzes, we end up doing it for the live audience. And when you win, we send you over to our website, dailygunshow.com. We have a couple of pages over there that have a picture of a patch panel. It's a bunch of patches that either we make here in Tucson or that we have made from our designs. Some of them we go out and buy. Others are given to us if people want to participate in this. And we've got a pretty neat kind of eclectic patch panel there. We show you a picture of what's currently available. Once you win and you pick what you want, there's a form here you can fill out and let us know where to send it. So again, we thank the people that are listening to the show on a daily basis and participating in the comments. So,
Yeah,
you know, that's something you kind of just
Ashy
mentioned
Slashy.
something that I don't know. It reminded me of something, but maybe if you have some patches laying around, you want to help the show out. Contact us and say, hey, can I send you a package of patches to give away? And maybe if you got a local gun shop or something, they have a couple of their things, like, maybe you can get some stuff for free. Be like, hey, we're going to give these away.
yeah, that's a great idea. We definitely encourage it. If you want, when we post the pictures, we try to tag as many people as we can or randomly pick people out of the patch panel to tag. So you're getting a little coverage there on the Instagram and Facebook that way. So yeah, if you can, or if you've got some patches, maybe like we've got, I don't know if people want to be named by name, but we've got somebody who's now sending in some patches that they picked up in Tulsa. some swag that they picked up in Tulsa, and we'll be moving that along in as prizes for the different events that we do. So yeah, anybody that wants to participate that way, feel free. Our mailing address is consistent on everything you look at. It's the Tucson mailing address. So any web page you open and click on the contact page, it'll have the same consistent mailing address. Feel free to mail them there. If you want, like Smeggy said, give us a heads up in the email. Let us know, especially if you have some direction, like you want us to use these on the Daily Gun Show, or use them anywhere. Let us know where you want us to use them. All right, so with that, I think we'll move on to the next segment of the show, which will be the tactical quiz, or one of the other daily things that we do on Wednesdays. But before we do, we want to take the plug to try to make some money, keep everything moving along here. So I'm going to point you over to our eBay account. I think this link will take people to the various things we have up on eBay right now. So I've made some, again, we make some of the patches here in Tucson, made some prototypes for some new designs. And we put them out on eBay to kind of, number one, raise funds for a big production, and then two, to get some market research or feedback on the various designs. So by seeing if they sell and how many people are watching them and that kind of thing, we can judge which designs are interesting or of interest to people. So if you're interested right now, we've got the straight out of cake one, we've got the ORMD, and of course we have a couple of the very few AK Pro patches that'll be made. And then I also have this selection of targets. It's a new series I'm thinking about making. So anybody that's interested, we'll put a link in the right now in the two gun channels and over on YouTube. We'll also have a link in the show description. And of course, everything that we make ends up going towards producing our content online. So we appreciate everybody that participates that way. So do you guys want to do one of the other subjects? You want to do gun shop of the day? Do we have anything for gun shop today?
Well, I got one, but this is a little different for us because it's a gun shop that's not on the web at all. It's in Northern Ontario, actually, but it's Great Northern Gunworks, and basically he builds guns from scratch for you. It's a custom gun builder, but he'll also repair or restore. He's just a really talented gunsmith, and he makes some really beautiful handmade, custom guns. Unfortunately, he is not on the web. He is an old guy, and he probably never will be on the web. I mean, at his age, I doubt that he's going to be around that much longer, but I mean, really cool guns. He's in Vermilion Bay, Ontario. And like I say, it is one of those little tiny gun shops. And, he's got old stuff, like old military stuff that he's restored. He's got custom made guns that he's built for customers, and either they haven't bought them or he's somehow ended up with them back. But just beautiful handmade guns, and he's one of these treasures that you're just never going to see anymore. His name's Gary Beardsley. He does have an email address. It's gary.gnGW@gmail.com. And if you are one of those people who wants a beautiful custom made gun, he's the guy to go see. If you're in Canada, he may even be able, because his client list is pretty extensive of people who want a really high-end hand-built gun. So he probably can ship elsewhere, but man, I know it really sucks he doesn't have any kind of web presence, but I've been in the shop, and it just blows your mind, like the kind of stuff he does. The guns are built to such precision that yeah, he's just one of those custom gun guys. And I know we didn't have anybody else for a gun shop of the day. One of the reasons I haven't really said any talked about him before is because there is no web presence to show anyone. But
well, what's the name of the shop again?
It's Great Northern Gunworks, and that's them basically.
So that's actually one of the reasons we want to do this segment of the show, though, is to help those sites out that either don't want or don't need or don't have web presence for whatever reason, and to let people know that they're out there. And yeah, it's possible that somebody go up there to go hunting or fishing or just to visit family or something, and now they know about a shop that they're certainly not going to find on whatever Canada's equivalent of Google Maps is.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's like he's on Highway 158, basically. He's on Highway 17, I should say. He's like 158, so he's like in the middle of nowhere almost. Well, he does have a kind of a web presence, but it's a really primitive web page. It's greatnortherngunworks.com. You can check it out. It's not a great web page, but I mean, it's something.
I like how he doesn't leave the web page. He makes that clear completely throughout his whole review, and then at the very end, he's like, "Of course, he has a website."
I'm just curious.
Well,
does he have a website? Oh no, of course not. But here it is.
Well, yeah, it's just if you see the website, you'll know what I mean. Hated it. I mean, when I looked at it about a year ago when I first went in and saw his shop, and it wasn't much. So hopefully he's updated it.
Yeah, maybe he had some young punk update it for him or something.
We can hope, because I mean, it's just.
Oh snap!
It's 11 seconds. I hope we don't get busted for that. All right, so it's time for the tactical quiz. So yeah, sure, we have a tactical pop quiz every day. Everybody really sticks around for Wednesdays to hang out for the tactical quiz, the most talked about exciting thing on the internet ever. So not to mention on Wednesdays. So today we're having a visual pop quiz. So if everybody's ready to watch the chats, we'll basically do 5 sessions here, 5 heats, 5 stages, and the one with the most accumulated wins will win a shirt from Hash Tactical. So about a couple of shirts
Nice.
from Hash Tactical off the internet, and one of them has a flag on it. I don't wear those, so it's a brand new shirt. All I do is take it out of the wrappings and then put it back in the wrappings. So it's a 2XL. So I guess if you're not a 2XL, don't play, or if you win it, then just give it to somebody who's regular size. So we will start with this one. So there's no time limit or anything. We're looking at a gun here. You get to name.
We already have an answer.
All right, which side?
And you could always just use it as a tent. If not,
No, they're 2XL. Just FYI, their 2XL is like a medium, so it's like Jaeger 2XL.
Yeah, medium.
You could wear this shirt.
Right under where he said Chuck Norris time, he did guess AR-7, and then he followed up. Now, I don't know that is the Henry, but it is a survival rifle.
It's not a Henry, you can tell because it's not black. So I don't know if
Right.
Henry need camouflage, and that's factory.
But he did say AR-7 first, so I figured we'd give him.
Yep. So even though you're
So that
wrong,
is Angry American.
first. Yep. Next is this gun right here, little other gun.
Oh, you shared that one the other day.
Yeah, these are not guns that are unfamiliar to you. If you've been watching the show, you know what this is. Not an AR-5. Let's see above AR-7. Nope. So I don't know if there's lag or if people are dumb, but come on. Micro Eagle.
Bing, bing, bing. I think Angry got that one too. Is that a Micro Eagle?
Yeah. No, it says Micro Desert Eagle, but that's close enough. So it looks like Angry's going to just walk away with this one because you run the first one too, right?
So
Yes,
hold on.
he
So he's going to compete with himself for the finals.
So is
eliminating everyone.
remember that is a baby Desert Eagle? That's just slang then?
No, Baby Eagle is
No, that's a different gun.
Oh,
Even though it should be called a baby because it's smaller than the dumb Baby Eagle, which is a stupid 9mm gun. This is the awesome Micro Eagle, Micro Desert Eagle.
okay.
Yep.
One of the coolest guns ever. Anyway, next up, boom. What are these? Same gun, just 2 different sides, 2 different models. Should be pretty simple. Really, you're just fighting with the lag on this one. It's not a capo, not a copo. I don't know what that means. Pug. Boom. Angry. You guys are not even trying.
Dominating.
This is just for shits and giggles because Angry already won. Anybody know what this one is?
Huh. That shit. How come that was not on any of our lists, by the way?
So it's only a prototype gun. If it existed and it's proven itself, then it might be on somebody's list. Not
Well,
an
let's just say that's a nice lunchbox, okay?
It's a Magpul, but which Magpul is it? Back when Magpul made stuff that was cool. Back when
Yep.
they were Edge doing their things. So I'm gonna
FMG9.
there it is. Who had FMG9? Ooh, Sean.
You no, it was technically Angry again.
Yeah, exactly. Sean.
Generally speaking, how long ago was that sort of stuff was available?
This was never available. It's 2008 3D printed prototype from SHOT Show.
Oh, poor Night Strike and Sean.
Now, G-Webs, if he dominates so much that he gets all 5, does he get any type of recognition for that?
I will almost positively not drop the shirt into like the goopy floor that my dog's created underneath of it. That's
okay.
Boom.
All right. Take that as you will, I guess, Angry.
Tony and Sean are going to have in the runnings for this one. Let's see if he can do whatever the hell it would be called if he did all 5 or something. If he can pull it off. I don't even know what this one is. I just take pictures.
I do.
Damp on the side.
Angry, you are close.
So
That's not technically the exact answer that he's looking for, though.
Nope. I just looked at the answer, but boom, he did get the answer immediately after.
He did it on a second guess, yes.
Now, do you think that the deal is it's like a bunch of people playing with Michael Jordan when he's playing basketball or whatever, and they're just like, well, I can't let Michael Jordan not win, so I'll just stand here? Is that what's happening? Like all those?
No, you know what it was? Is Angry dominated so much, they're all just crying right now. That's what it is. They're literally standing there crying into their hands, feeling shame.
So what model is that, Smith?
It's a 627.
627 Pro.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know.
It's literally like Angry is the Harlem Globetrotters, and everyone else is the high school team.
More like everybody else is the audience sitting in the bleachers.
Well, I don't know.
There you go.
Like
That's even
Muhammad,
closer.
Muhammad Ali, when you talk about Sean and Angry.
Sean, I don't know where Sean. He was here. I seen him just get. I didn't even see him throw up one layup or whatever that's called in basketball. Where Angry was like bam, 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 bam.
But
5
it's not.
This was
the
steel.
battle of the day. It's
like one missed shot.
It's the ongoing war from week to week.
So
Well,
you don't even need to give Angry the link there.
Night Strike out there trying to start a fight. Stay on the porch, little dog. Stay on the porch.
What's happening?
Yeah, really. He's like
Night
that
Strike trying to
terrier
pick a
running out
fight.
there. He's like a terrier running out there between pit bulls and getting in both their faces.
Little ankle biter.
So I guess the people that are on the YouTube complaining about the lag, it's out there. We know about it. That's why we built gun channels, because we build stuff faster than YouTube. So we don't have lag over there. For some reason, when you embed a video on another site, especially a site as awesome as gun channels, they know where to put the feed first. So yeah, they get an advantage, but that's an advantage of being awesome. So don't watch on YouTube. We're not telling you to. We're just allowing it to happen. I could turn off the chat on YouTube, and then it would be more fair, but we're trying not to shame people for their choices.
Well, here's the thing. Like a lot of times I'll watch a show on my phone on YouTube if I'm only checking in for a couple minutes. And so then I would use the chat there because it's a little bit easier than watching the video and then trying to chat. Like I got to flip back and forth and stuff. So there are times that YouTube is useful, but I totally agree. Gun channels is way, way better.
All right. Well, that was the daily pop quiz, or that was the weekly tactical quiz. So thanks for playing. And this week it's a shirt going out. So if that works for you, Angry, let us know. Otherwise, whatever you want, really. So if you want to patch something too, that's fine. You can use the same form there, and we'll get that out to you. It's in.
'Cause, I mean, Angry American, you dominated. You got every single one out of the 5.
It's like
You're
when
in
you're
a class all by yourself this week, dude.
right on that
Yeah,
work.
but that's
It's like watching. Go ahead, Bob. Go ahead, Bob.
Go, Bob.
All right, well, that's like watching somebody from the sidelines who's like really good at shooting the plate rack, like bang, 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 bang. Like he shot an extra one, but he still knocked the whole rack down before everybody else even drew.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. So at least it was entertaining for all the spectators.
very impressive.
All right, so we're seeing a lot of excuses. I'm at work. I've got internet lag or whatever. So, whatever. We're trying to do something there though, and hopefully, you guys have fun with it. We will continue on to the gun of the day. I think this is Bob's doing. Is this a gun? It's just like
It's a postal address in Canada, I think.
Yeah, looks like a English address.
Hey, I didn't get a chance to do any research. I just got here before the show started. Give me a break.
Now, Bob, I'm going to call
What?
your card on that because before the show started, I was out here with you well over a half hour before the show started.
Yeah, we've been sitting around for like an hour.
Yeah, but you
guessing about Edge. Like,
me
well, I'm gonna go by
talking.
Edge. I'm gonna hang out with Edge all weekend. I can't wait to see Edge this weekend. So me and Dano had to listen to like 40 minutes worth of what's gonna happen with Edge.
Come on. I mean, I was
Edge envy.
distracted. You guys kept talking to me. It's not my fault. I'm gonna make an. I got lag. That's it. I got lag. It's the internet.
So we're talking about what is this?
Hey,
Polish?
no, honest.
What's going on with this gun?
It's the internet. It's the internet's fault. It's slow. I
Okay,
mean,
fine, whatever. What's
Yeah,
the
we
gun?
got it, Bob. We got it. What's the gun?
WZ38M. Who the hell comes up with that for a name for a gun?
Some Eastern European dude or committee.
Really?
I did no research on it, but it really is cool, folks.
So it's like their bar.
Honest to God, I'm trying to look up my
I
stuff
can
on
tell
it.
you
I
a
can't
little bit
even
about
see it.
It's a self-repeating rifle from Poland, 7.9 millimeter semi-automatic, used by the Polish army during the invasion of Poland of 1939.
So it's
Thank
like their
you.
bar.
That 39?
Looks like a Polish bar to me.
Well, you know, the Poles did invent some pretty cool guns before the Germans kind of took them over. I'm not kidding. I cannot get any kind of data on it.
Actually, it looks. And it's what's interesting is Browning now makes a semi-auto that almost looks like that. And
Yeah,
that's their new. It's called a BAR, but it's not a BAR.
Yeah, it
There's
was a
only
very
one
interesting
example.
design, and a lot of people will, you know, make Polish jokes and stuff like that. But they're firearms designers, and that were at the time before the Germans invaded were right up there with everyone else. I mean, they were designing stuff that would have been, had they had another year or two before the Germans invaded, it might have been a very different story. So you know, I just thought it was an interesting that, you know, like I say, another year or two, and they would have outfitted their army with this rifle, and that would have made a big difference.
What's the wiki say, G?
Well, according to this thing here, it says there was only one example of military usage of this rifle, which is known from its constructor's memories. While evacuating personnel from the Institute, the train where they were traveling was attacked near whatever 2 German warplanes fighting at low altitude. He states in his memoirs, or his memories, that somebody kept shooting through the window, eventually killing the gunner and wounding the pilot of one of the planes, forcing it to land. So one time when they were running away, well, getting away in a train from the Nazis wailing on a bunch of innocents, probably, they shot one out the window of the train and shot down a Nazi.
Well, yay.
Yeah, so it did its job, but it doesn't seem like it was a gun used in any.
It's like
Well, they got they got panzered right in the culo, dude.
Number built less than 150, so I don't think it really had a shot.
I mean, what clearly explains it all is the Germans drove tanks, the Poles rode horses.
Well, that's all they had at the time. I mean, there were Polish pilots flying biplanes that were shooting down German, like modern German monoplanes. And those Polish pilots went on to Britain and helped defend the British Isles in the Battle of Britain, and were some of the bravest, most aggressive pilots in the British Air Force at the time.
I like that the gun of the day was used to shoot down a Nazi from a train. A Nazi plane from a train. I think that's pretty awesome.
With a rifle. That's pretty impressive.
Well, it's a 7. What did you say? A 7.8. So that's a decent sized bullet. But yeah, I imagine that must have been a hell of a lead time.
It's not like a 9mm, but
You mean as in it actually did something?
Well, that Bob's suggestion was true, that if they would have had numbers of those, then if 1 out of 150 of those rifles shot down a Nazi plane, that could have been different.
Yep.
All right,
Yeah,
so that was the gun of the day. We like to feature a gun every day. There's lots of things we like to hit on a daily basis. Another one is the gun movie of the day. So if it's okay with everybody, I'm going to suggest we move into that. We like to remind everybody of a movie you might not have seen in a while, something gun related, or if you're one of the youngins that listens to the show, tell you about something you haven't seen yet. Today it's Johnny Dangerously. Definitely a comedy, but a gun movie for sure. It's a comedy
Absolutely.
from
Knock down that wall and that wall and that fucking wall over there.
This guy was from Saturday Night Live, right? These were all Saturday Night Live people?
No.
Wasn't Joe Pesci on Saturday Night Live?
Well, that's not Joe Pesci. That's Joe Piscopo. And yes, he was on Saturday Night Live. But Michael Keaton wasn't.
Michael Keaton is who you're thinking of.
Michael Keaton wasn't on Saturday Night Live, though? So
No.
he just came out and did comedies? Okay.
And
Yeah.
Mary Lou Henner, who was on Taxi.
Yep.
So it was 80s, mid-80s comedy. Pretty funny, I guess. And
Oh, yeah.
mainly make fun of like old stereotypes and stuff, and then like mocking an old or whatever based on an old gangster movie. We make fun of the old movie.
Yes.
What do they call that? It's like exaggerate.
Spoof or a
Spoof.
parody.
Yeah, there you go, parody. And got a lot of gun stuff from it. The big long, this is a gun. This is the one I think of course.
The 88 Magnum.
Yep. Shoots through schools.
Yes. Well, I always liked them. My mother hung me on a hook once. When they're trying to get away, and what they're doing to the exterior of the car, if you remember.
Sure, the shelf wrap or whatever.
Yes. I just thought that was some of the funniest stuff ever. And, that is the thing about this movie. It is made in the 80s. It is definitely spoofing or lampooning gangster movies. It's all practical effects. There's no CGI in this movie, right? So, and it's supposed to be a comedy / funny, but there's a little bit of adventure going on there. But there's definitely some funny stuff, I think, though.
So everybody seen this movie?
It used to be on HBO. I saw this movie many times.
It's one of those ones that you've seen a billion times from HBO.
Yeah, it was
I saw
it was funny, and I would give it 2 soft thumbs up for sure.
I saw it once, and I actually didn't see the ending because I was bored.
Yeah, I could hear you. If you didn't like Joe Piscopo, is it Piscopo? Then you wouldn't have liked it.
Wait a minute, that's the one with Mary Lou Henner?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
2 hard thumbs up.
I knew that was coming.
I'm not going to comment on the change in terminology there.
So Dano,
Yes.
no thumbs up.
I'll give it a 1 knuckle up.
All right. Z?
Oh, 2 thumbs up all the way. And I don't have ESS, by the way.
And just as an administrational note on our movie ranking system, when most come in and they're always 2 thumbs up, then really nothing is 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
I agree with you.
What?
They can't all be great gun movies. They're just all gun movies.
You asked me if I fucking liked it, and I'm telling you I liked it.
No, that's fine. We're not judging you. We're just saying that we're not always going to have to agree in lockstep. Otherwise.
Oh no, that's totally cool. Actually, I'm down with that. I don't have any problem with that.
Keep
You
the
guys
PG
rate it however you want to rate it. You can rate it 2 chickens. That's all good with me.
Right, keep
So-
the PG rating here, Z. Come on.
Smeggy, seen this movie?
I have not seen it, but I really like Z's suggestion, so I'm going to rate it 2 chickens.
There you go.
I don't know if it's good or bad, but what the heck? I guess that means if someone has it on VHS, you'll trade them 2 chickens for it?
Could be.
Or
No,
maybe you watch it with 2 chickens? I don't know. Maybe chickens like it?
Now,
no, that Haas is the one with chickens. None of us have chickens. Dana
Now, what-
wants chickens.
one of the eggs is cracked.
Eat that one first.
All right.
There you
Well,
go.
I'm gonna give this one nothing because I don't want to. I liked it, but it's not necessary. I don't even know if it holds up, but it was a good movie back in the day. But I think that I suspect it was a good movie because of the lack of other good movies at the time. And back then we couldn't go watch like a better movie that we had already seen. We didn't have. I mean, maybe you had a VHS, we call it VCR, but you could record something off HBO and watch it again, I guess. But aside from that, this was almost before video rentals, if I remember right.
Well,
So
and I was just going to mention that exact same thing. Is the idea of a video rental store was a brand new thing. Blockbuster, at least in my area, did not even exist.
oh hell no,
And-
yeah, these were like local, like what you see on Clerks. It was just like a local shop that bought a bunch of VHS tapes, and then they would.
Yep.
But this was before that, if I remember correctly. This was earlier than all that. This was like when everybody was just getting cable. So I think that this movie got, or holds some kind of fondness in my memory just because it was that, or like Tootsie or something horrible. So
I mean, you either saw it at the theater, or you may not have seen it at all, unless you saw it on later on a movie channel that did repeats.
otherwise, it is worth watching, I suppose, if if it comes up or something. I'm not gonna say go out of your way to watch it. I don't know if it's that good, but it's.
You gave it nothing, sir.
I,
Is
It's got
what
Mary
you
Lou
I don't
said.
want to
Henner
give
in
it one because one, like I said, like Dana was saying, if we start giving everything thumbs, then, and I don't hate this movie, I'm not giving it
Give
anti.
it a thumbs down. That's okay.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not giving it a thumbs down. It's not a horrible movie. It's well made, and these guys are all established. I mean, it was a big budget movie. It was a good movie. It's just that
Mary Lou Henner, one of the sexiest women ever of the 80s.
I don't know. That might be. We were all like 10. So
Well, I'm not even going to agree with that as a statement, Bob. But whatever.
Oh, come
We're not.
on.
We're not even getting into that.
Everybody knows
So
about
I just want to comment to something out there on the YouTube. Diecasters throwing down all these names for guns. Like, this is a good gun movie. Oh, that's another one. Here's another one. Dude, you know how to type. We have an email. Type in an email and hit send. And
Right.
they'll
Well,
get added to the list.
Smeggy doesn't get the irony there. Those are all ones that he's already emailed us, and they're already in the list. So he's kind of, I think, tongue in cheek. So yeah,
Okay.
a lot of those.
Maggie has problems with irony.
No, I just don't I don't check the email.
Yeah, not everybody.
Right?
I apologize, Diecaster. I take back my sarcastic tone.
You should.
But
Maggie,
anyone else out there who is thinking, man, I wish they'd talk about these movies, then the sarcastic tone is there for you to email
Maggie's
us. You know how to
now
type.
burning so much his head's melting.
I'd like to
Doing
say
what?
that this is Smeggy's version
Nothing.
of not including your address when you win a prize.
What? I mentioned it one time. I didn't stop the show for it. I just thought I was going to suggest something, and then I didn't know some backstory. And I corrected myself. Jesus. Okay.
All right. So now we're going on to some history. It's not necessarily today's history because I don't know the actual date, but Bob is in Waco, Texas. And like Dana alluded to, we were listening to Bob talk about Edge for like 40 minutes. So I started looking up Waco because I didn't want to talk about the obvious thing. So what might be interesting for some people is that in 1885, the soft drink Dr. Pepper was invented at at Morrison's Old Corner Drugstore in Waco, Texas. So how cool is that? Hopefully Bob's
That's very
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper, it's not that cool.
You don't know
So
what
if
you're
you
doing.
like,
I think you should be obligated since you're in that town to
Uh,
go to the drugstore and order Dr. Pepper.
Well, and he's in Texas, so Bob, I'm gonna give you a little word of warning. If you don't want to get run out of town on a rail, do not repeat the phrase that you just did about Dr. Pepper anywhere in Texas, and you'll be okay.
so if you like plums, you'll love plum pop, which
There is no plums, there is no prunes in Dr. Pepper.
that's what the taste is based off of. The taste of plums.
I've never tasted a plum ever that tasted like that.
Yeah, me neither. I like plums.
Okay. Everything today is artificial flavor. There's no Coke in Coca-Cola either. You mean there isn't? Not anymore.
All right. So without getting into the history of too many sodas, I just thought that was an interesting piece of history about Waco, Texas.
Yes.
I think that's everything for episode 283. So hope you enjoyed the show. We do this every single weekday at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's 4 Pacific. Tomorrow we'll be digging into our Thursday show, number 284, talking about aiming devices. We'll be talking about Masada Ayub. That should be fun. And then on Thursdays we talk about the events over on the Gun Channel's calendar. So anybody that's a member of Gun Channels, at the top of every single page, there's a menu. Down the resources option in the menu, you can go to the calendar. If you're aware of an event that's coming up, if it's something you participate in or something you wish you could attend, feel free to post it there. Let people know about it. We talked about it before, but the way that the internet works, having valid links out there linking back to something like a Facebook post or like a web page that talks about an event, that helps the event out on the overall scheme of things. It helps that event be recommended to more people out there searching. So it's a value technically to them, as well as anybody that might be on Gun Channels who lives in that area or might be traveling through that area. It's a convenience for them to let them know about something that they might not have known about. So sort of the point of this show, it's sort of the point of Gun Channels to help keep people in the know about stuff like that. So we encourage you to participate in it. And of course, on Thursdays, we'll spend some time talking about it. Otherwise, unless you guys have anything else, I think that'll wrap up the show.
Well, I got one more thing on events. If I'm not mistaken, if you go to the calendar to see what's going on, you can like RSVP for it kinda and say you're going, and that might be helpful. If you do that, then you might see that other people are going, and you can try and meet up with them or whatever. And I just thought of that, so I'm going to go to the NRA show and do that right now.
Yeah, that's very cool. You can also add pictures. So even after it's a pretty powerful system we've got over there. After the event happens, or if you've been to an event that's annual, you want to post pictures of a previous one, or after the fact, if you want to post pictures, you can browse through past events. You can post pictures, and if you're going to be posting pictures like of Tulsa Gun Show or something anyway, feel free to post in that event. And that way, again, when people are searching for them or whatever, they can get a night, because the Tulsa event, for example, happens twice a year. So people that might be thinking about attending it can see some of the pictures of past events, and that might be useful for them.
I have two things. One is I want to let everybody know I actually do love Dr. Pepper. That's important for the audience to know. Second thing is, for anyone listening out there, if you are not currently subscribed on YouTube to the Daily Gun Show, please take a minute and go over there and subscribe to the show. It helps us substantially as the numbers grow to get us on the recommended list of other people who may not necessarily even be aware that we're out there. So please take the time to subscribe to the channel if you are not already.
And hack into all your friends' YouTube account and sign them up too.
And that.
Well, let's remember, people. I mean, it's up to you to spread the word on this show. Really, we're not putting advertising out there or anything like that. So really, it's word of mouth more than anything that's going to spread the word of this show. And hey, who doesn't want to talk about guns? Really. So I think we're finished up here. So at the end of the show, we like to end it with a quote. Before that, though, I would like to remind everybody, please like, subscribe, share, put it on Facebook, put it wherever you can. Let's let people see what we're doing, and hopefully they'll join, and we can make this become something more than it is right now. So this one quote is submitted by Cyclecamp again. Now, this was written by Thomas Jefferson. And, well, let's just go with it. The laws that forbid the carrying of arms disarm only those who are neither inclined nor determined to commit crimes. So on that point, I want to thank everybody for watching and listening. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Guys and gals of gunwebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching gunwebsites.com.